Hello, gang. Welcome to the Monday even eModels stream with me, Festa 67's workshop. Them two, Modelmaking Guru and
Hello.
Chris over at Gross Models. And yeah, guess who got dropped in it at the last minute to host this cacophony of madness? It was me.
we had a big long discussion that went, who's hosting tonight? I don't know, is it Colin? There you go.
Yeah, they both just sat there and looked at me and went, you are.
And Colin's like,
so somewhere in a field in a mobile home is the distinct sound of a sobbing man going, I've been away a week and they've only gone and given him the microphone. Yeah. So anyway, welcome to eModels Monday, and how have we all been doing? What have you been up to this week, Chris?
Me? Hang about. I wasn't expecting me already. I was expecting the whole introductory everything and stuff and things.
Don't do none of that.
This week I've been doing nothing, so there you go. Foxx?
I can't help but notice you have a rather splendid looking Millennium Falcon under your puffin there, mate.
Stop looking at my puffin, young man.
Hey, it's a very provocative puffin, I have, you know.
I have two puffins. That's why I can't sit normal. Yes, it's done. It's done. It's finished.
I know. Look at it.
It looks awful on the webcam. I know, but yes, it's done. Oh, I'm only 2.5 years late. Oh yes.
Yeah.
The final episode is in editing at the minute. I've taken a load of photographs today that I'll send to James to put on the Facebook page. But it's done. So, yes. Now, that's out of the way. Very quickly before we get going, because no one gave me the cue to do it, I'll do it anyway. Welcome to the show.
Yes, terms and conditions.
Terms and conditions. Yes. Welcome to the show. Oh, we're so not organised. Welcome to the show. This is your show as always. We're just hanging around having a good laugh, and you guys are hanging out with your friends in chat. So if you're watching this, there is a live chat, but if you can't see the chat anywhere, you need to be on YouTube. So make sure to hit the YouTube icon that's down here somewhere in the bottom right-hand corner. I don't know which side it is. It's probably down there. Click on the YouTube icon. That'll take you to the YouTube page where you can join in the live chat. And you should, because we're giving a mug away tonight.
Yes, an eModels mug.
We do know what type of mug. Don't worry about. I've got a button because he's not here. I've got to push the button to find what type of mug we're giving away. We're giving away a
an eModels mug. An eModels mug.
An eModels mug. There we go. It's finished now.
Oh,
that's
one
it.
of those mugs. Yes.
Oh yeah, proper zoomage as well. Just see it on the corner there.
Yeah. Yeah, so we are doing a mug giveaway tonight because we're not doing a prize. Well, we are giving a prize as well. But yeah, come and join the live chat. So if you are watching this, do come and join the live chat. It's always a good laugh, and the mods are in there to keep you safe. And it's also awesome. Now, don't forget, of course, if you want to get our attention, we need stuff to talk about. Well, we don't really. We just waffle on about food in the 1980s. But if you want to ask us questions, because we will occasionally answer model making questions and point this boat of nonsense ever so slightly towards the coast of model making, then do ask us questions. Put your comments in big fat capital letters so we have a chance to see them. Or if you want to, you can do the super chat, which is the dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. That will put your comment in a coloured box, and there's no way we could miss it then. And I think that's everything. I think that's it.
I think that's one other thing. We are still giving away that thing from last week, so you can still go and comment on last week's video to be in with a chance to win the Bandai Slave 1, isn't it?
Yes, Slave 1.
Yes.
Go and put a comment on last week's stream, and it was, what is your Star Wars name?
Yeah.
Make sure you keep it family friendly, because this is a family friendly show. And on that note, don't swear in chat, it's family friendly, and please don't refer to other retailers, because this is an eModels show for eModels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs.
Absolutely.
He's like my Shakespeare mode,
Andy in the chat saying it could have been worse. They could have given me the buttons. Oh yeah, could you imagine the carnage?
Ooh.
My brain can't think of such.
Sarah Jade saying, Colin looking confused is a great start. Absolutely, they both just went, oh, you're hosting.
Yeah, but we did that quarter of an hour ago. It wasn't like 10 seconds into the time countdown. It was.
This is more professional than one of my usual dodgy streams. I'm having to be good and everything, mate.
Yes.
Yeah. So, shall we go over to Festa then for his factoid of the week?
Absolutely. Let's go and see what Festa has to say for himself.
Hang on a minute. What's Festa been up to? He hasn't told us yet.
I've been building.
Normally that means he's typing with his fingers, but he's not. He's getting things.
No, I'm getting things. I nearly killed.
You see the top of his head? He's in chat typing. Tell him off. Ooh.
I've been doing a bit of a Titanic. So I've been doing that. And I'm filming the build-up of the diorama for the ball tank tomorrow, so diorama goodness is going to be happening on my bed. So if you see me Wednesday on YouTube with grass tufts and everything stuck to my face, you know that I've been filming.
I try not to look at you Wednesday, but there you go.
Yeah.
I do notice Daryl Roberts says he can't stay in the chat, but he just wanted to thank us for keeping up an excellent service despite all the weight put on you due to the restrictions we're living under. You guys are awesome. I think he means more the eModels people rather than us.
Yeah,
but
I mean, they have done a good
it.
job up there, though, haven't they? I mean, it's credit to them that they've managed to keep going through all of this, and
Don't forget, of course, folks, we don't actually work for eModels. We just do this because we love the guys and they love us. And we don't get paid for this, but yeah, we don't actually know anything about their ordering or stock or anything like that specifically. We don't actually work there for them, but we are a conduit for your questions. So yeah, we will pass that on for you.
Jamie Bones saying to me in the chat that the Titanic is clean, too clean. It needs more rust and plankton.
I think it needs more like Led Zeppelin posters on the side.
Could you imagine though how that would mess with people's minds if I was to really weather it?
Are you not going to get like a Metallica symbol on there or something, or?
I was going to put shark mouth on it.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Shark mouth.
But
Model Making Mayhem asks me, Foxx, will Guthorm give up the Millennium Falcon? I don't know. He looks quite comfy in that little cleft between the cockpit tube and the docking hatch. He looks quite comfy in there.
There might be a bit of puffing protesting going on.
Yeah.
Can you still take off the Top Gun wheel because he'll fit in there quite nicely?
No, it's all fixed in now. You can't get that off.
Yeah.
He might stow away in the engine compartment at the back.
Because you're going to need a roof rack, ain't you, to get that to eModels?
I'm not thinking about things like that right now. I'm not thinking about... Because it's going to be a long time before I can take it there. The first thing I've got to think about now is where the hell am I going to put this now?
Yeah, we're all getting to that point, aren't we, where our man caves are slowly filling up with our accumulating builds.
But that's the problem. It's not like I can just drive it down to eModels and drop it off because of everything that's going on. So,
yeah, that's the thing.
Like, I've got to find somewhere to put it now.
Yeah, I would say hang it from the ceiling, but it's bound to fall down and smack you on the head, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, I've got a childhood of broken Stukas and Spitfires that attest to not using it.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
Right, then I'll go over and do me factoid then. Factoid of the week.
Festa's factoid. I shall push a button so you have your little subtitle.
Ooh.
Festa's factoid. There we go.
On this very day in 2003, the US NASA Galileo space probe ended its 8-year mission to Jupiter as planned. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California, directed the craft into Jupiter's atmosphere to burn up, totally vaporizing its structure. This prevented the possibility of any later uncontrolled fall onto a moon, causing contamination with bacterial life from Earth.
A fall onto what, Cole?
Moons. A moon. A moon.
Moon.
No H. Fall onto a moon. I love that.
Got a death.
I'll push the different button.
Button pressed.
Button pressed, yes, you're good to go.
On this very day, at the age of 75, John B.L.E. de Beaumont dropped dead, and he was a French geologist who, with what's that say? Pierre Duffenoy published a substantial geological map of France.
A geological map.
The Carte Géologique Generale de la France. There you go.
There we go, indeed. Yes.
That famous geological manual, the Homina de la France.
God, I'd love to go and get that out of the library. Could you imagine them going to look for it? He presented the first complete theory of metalliferous veins. He's killing me. I keep seeing him out the corner of my eye. He made a detailed study of European folded racks and concluded that these show evidence of distinct mountain building episodes. So that was him.
That was him.
We got another geezer here. He's French Canadian, this one. He died at the ripe old age of 75 and all. Edward Gaston Daniel
Edward.
was a French-Canadian surveyor who was a French-born Canadian surveyor. I've read that twice.
He was a French Canadian surveyor. He was a French
Oh
Canadian.
dear. A system used projective grids of images taken from photographs made with a camera, the diolite mounted on the same tripod.
I'm sure he's a trifle then.
I'm going to go with an easy one. Got an English inventor. There you go, number 3. I'm going to do a birth in a minute as a treat for you.
A birth?
Yeah, you're going to have a birth
Normal.
as well. I know.
I haven't got a button for birth.
Because I'm
of
the
the week.
hostess with the mostest this
Ooh.
week, so I'm going to do a birth and all. On this very day, at the age of 73, Frank Hornby died with an H. He was an English inventor and manufacturer who patented the Meccano construction set.
And
Did?
later, Hornby trains.
There you go, see? And of the birth, he says, scrolling up, trying to make out that this has been really planned well. I've lost him now. Where is he?
Yeah, I know, he's not a death.
The birth was, there he is, Charles Jules Henry Nicol was born this very day in 1866, and he was a French physician, bacteriologist. That's the bloke who received the 1928 Nobel Prize for physiology even, or medicine for his discovery
How old was he when he was
on
born?
how typhus is transmitted by the body louse.
How old was he when he was born?
Eh?
You have to think.
No,
It doesn't say.
I had to look at the post-it because I was just about to call you a naughty name.
Oh, what a naughty name. You do
Now,
realise.
I'm concerned here. Are you doing a birth of the week every week, and is it just so you're getting in with Mama Foxx?
I might be trying to gain an unfair advantage in the favouritism category here.
We're gonna have to like. You're gonna take it so far that we have to rename your section Hatch, Match, and Dispatched.
Yeah, I think so. I think.
I can get a button for birth of the week.
Yeah,
It's not a
Phil
problem.
Lewis says he believes I've excelled myself this week. Cheers, guys. Much
Don't
appreciated.
forget,
Mate.
Chris, it's BERF.
Thing is, I'm reading it around the webcam, so I'm like, yeah, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it.
I think we need to send Festa an iPad, or at least a paper and a pen.
Dude, I've got an Android tab just there, and I keep forgetting to set it up on my bench, mate.
You can have all your bits on there.
Yeah, it's like.
Don't want
really?
your bits on your bench. No, leave it. No,
Not where there's bits of sharp plastic.
just
around.
no.
Yeah, no, leave that one. We're not going there.
Tim Young says bacteriologist.
Yes, yeah, I'm going to leave that with you. We haven't done the question of the week, have we? The what's in your belly and what's on your bench.
Oh, yeah. So, what's the question?
I see. Skullfish says, "Birth, is that where you park a boat?"
Zadster says.
Birth, yeah,
Zadster says Annaburf. ANNABURF. Annaburf.
yeah, birth with 2 Fs.
Yeah. Burf. If you, you do realise in a past life you were a Warhammer 40k orc. You do realise that, don't you?
when
just
you
gonna
say
nod.
past life. Apparently my lip sync is way out. I just try not to come on camera very much. I do have trouble with my lip sync for some reason. So
Phil Lewis says Festa's factoid, mostly informative, entirely hilarious.
Oh, I'm all right, but the way I have my computer set up is I have the factoid window on a long strip underneath the webcam so I can read it, and all I can see above it is him with his mockery and tomfoolery trying to put me off. But
You've
it's
got a
like,
special monitor. It's like that tall and 6 foot long.
yeah, it's a big, it's a big curved one like that.
Yeah.
I'll sit
Well,
in the middle of it.
But the funny thing, the reason we love Festa so much is that he spends all the time trying to work around the camera to read things. But when we're having conversations, he doesn't look at the camera.
No, I still don't know what it is over there that I end up staring at. There's something that just makes me go, huh?
We're just gonna have to get a cardboard cutout of a face to put around your camera, so you have to look at the face.
I had the arrow above it on a post-it saying, look here, but yeah.
But then it
Does the
goes away.
camera have to be an eye or a nose or something?
Well,
though?
just
Where
to the
do- where does
side
it-
of this, just to the side of the web camera is your face, Chris. So I'm just looking to one side, so I'm talking to you, and I keep talking to your image rather than the webcam.
See, I'm canny because what I do is I put my webcam right in front of my monitor where everybody's face is. So basically, you're all a webcam with a mouth.
Yeah, your nose is just in the centre of the webcam, and yeah, there you are. Yeah,
I couldn't be having that. I couldn't be having the camera in the way of the screen. That'd just annoy me far too much. So my camera's just above the screen.
yeah, that's why
I just tend to look at it.
I have my factoid as a strip, and I'm letting it up like that.
So you strip your factoids on telly. People watching.
Yeah, I'm not standing up though.
Yeah. We have some answers to Bench and Belly.
Oh, sweet.
Fox's rebranded Colin's section. I'm not going anywhere near Colin's section. I've learned the first time. Model Maker Mayhem says, "Birth, isn't that when there's too much gas?"
Yes, yes.
Where are
Aim at Nickel says in belly pepperoni pizza bench nothing.
we? No. Model Maker Mayhem says, "Polylolologanonon." And Spear and Glue says, "Belly Walker's ready salted French fries. Bench, thinking about it. Need to eat more than just chips." I was saying to the guys earlier on, I had a big lunch, so I wasn't really hungry at dinner time, but I made Mama Fox something for dinner. And then half an hour before the show, what she was having for her dinner that I made for her smelled so nice that I suddenly got the hungers, but now it's too late, and I'm like, oh! And then if I go downstairs to make myself something later on after the show, it's 11 o'clock at night, and there's a ton of washing up to do. I'm just going to go to bed and cry, I think.
Yeah, you've drawn the short straw there, mate, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to sleep off my hunger until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tim Young says, "Belly primo cuisine this week: hot dogs and pasta fusion food. I cannot recommend enough noodles or pasta, but get some hot dogs, chop them up, put them in with it." And he says, "Bench still working on the Battle of Britain scene. 4 Hurricanes now fitted with canopies." Cool.
My daughter does an interesting thing with pasta and hot dogs. What you got to do before you cook any of it, you got to poke the pasta, like spaghetti pasta, through the hot dog.
All right.
And then you can cook it like normal, and then the pasta becomes bendy, and the hot dog's still speared through. You can cut them up first,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you get like pasta with hot dog around it.
Oh, that's
Right.
nifty.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, but the trouble is you'll be Captain Stabby, won't you? You'll be stabbing yourself.
I'll be making it into an engineering problem.
Yeah.
Paul Lyon says, "Belly pasta with tomato, pancetta, and Rioja sauce. Bench 172nd model collect E50 with 105mm gun. I won the other week."
Ostrich 9000 been at. Ted has joined us as our roving reporter. Ostrich 9000 says belly, tuna and pasta. Bench, he started a 1/35th scale European tram.
Ted's with us, but he appears to have no microphone.
I'm going to say he's muted. I'll click on him, and we'll see. Oh, it didn't work. It might have worked a little bit.
Ted says he might try. He's basically in the middle of nowhere in the LEM,
Yeah.
and he might be able to hop onto someone's wireless if he can find a wireless that hasn't got a password on it.
Oh,
Probably.
hang about. I've got to take the X off of Ted because he's here at least a little bit. Hello, Ted. Ted, can you hear us, Ted? Ted, come in, Ted.
Nope. Ted, this is Houston.
Houston, we have a problem.
We are not receiving
You're
your
muted,
last
Ted.
cover.
We can't hear you, Ted. You've got your mute button on.
Yeah, unmute your microphone, you spoon.
Anders Eriksson, Bench, he's on vacation with his wife in a cabin in the Danish, or on the Danish coastline even. There isn't a bench there, but there's a 1,000-piece jigsaw on the kitchen table.
Ooh,
Belly's a grilled steak with garlic butter and fries.
nice. Primetime Modelling says, "Belly spag bowl, good girl. Bench Magnum PI Ferrari almost finish and extras."
Oh, nice.
Ted
Phillies.
Ted fell out.
Oh, sorry, mate. Phillies is saying belly is a sausage butty. Bench is some towel and some Gretchen.
Yeah, it's
Oh, well, that was.
the great-
B3 says belly was katsu, chicken curry, and boiled rice. Bench is wasteland camper van.
Paul Di Tommaso, "Belly jumbo beef." Got to do it right. Jumbo beef hot dogs. Belly many. That's well. Wait, what? He says belly jumbo beef hot dogs. Belly many kits.
Yeah,
Don't eat the kits.
we make a big thing about punctuation, but we should also make a thing about words.
Yeah, use all the correct words.
Yeah. Our friend Skullfish is currently applying steak pie and mash with 2 veg to his face.
Yes. Lee Barrett says belly, pasta, and meatballs. Bench 1/9 scale Italeri German infantryman. Combine that with the Italeri 1/9 scale German motorbike and sidecar, and make a nice little diorama. A huge, well, I say little, it'd be huge, but you know.
HG Barnes is saying belly, spam and eggs with tarragon, and the bench is a 48 B17F.
Ooh. Red Lynn, belly, lamb chops in mint and tomato sauce. I do like lamb. Yeah, I've lost it now. I got distracted by the lamb chops. Oh, mash and peas. Bench, nothing, no mojo. I know the feeling.
Is it me? Here's a question for you both, right? I love lamb chops and I love pork chops. Okay, I like chops in general, but is it not really disappointing that you get this big chop and there's a little tiny bit of meat and the rest is garbage you have to throw away?
Pretty much,
well, you know the answer to that. Get bigger chops.
It's just why do you just buy medallions that is the chop without the chop bit?
Yeah.
The meat. I just want the meat. I don't want to be playing with it and having to.
Yeah, you don't want to have to sit there and almost solve a Rubik's cube just to get a bit of chop.
I'm not like, you know, in the Middle Ages. I just want to be able to go ha into my face.
Yeah.
I always go ha when I eat it. It makes it.
Ian Dowthwaite says evening chaps, belly, jacket potato, grated cheese and chilli. Bench is a 24th scale full focus world rally car.
I know somebody with the surname Dowthwaite. It's not a common name.
No.
Maybe they're related.
I hope I'm saying it right.
Yes. Well, the girl I know is Dowthwaite. So.
Yeah.
Not called Ian.
Well, no, that'd be a strange name for a woman. Sprue and Glue. No, that's not a bench and belly, but he says party cancelled. Is Ted in a post-apocalyptic petal? Wait.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this catching? Am I going to catch it off of Colin as well now? Not being able to talk proper.
Yeah.
Ted, Papa Captain. He's in this camper van.
No, what type of camper van? What?
It's the Lem. Ted calls it his Lem. It's basically a mobile home, but it's called the Lunar. So he calls it the Lunar Excursion Module. So it's the Lem. So that's why he said
what did Tim Young ask? What is it?
He said the ancient god of Popocatépetl from Teotihuacan. I can say Aztec place name.
Tim Young asked, is Ted in a post-apocalyptic bunker?
God, even Colin can say it.
I know. For some reason, I can pronounce like South American, Mexican, and Amazonian place names, but just not apocalyptic.
It's the only sentence I can read out loud properly.
Bill Lewis says, belly, homemade cottage pie with fine green beans and a rich gravy. Bench, as per last week, nout.
I think Ted Wood's just popped up there. Belly, beef, chow mein, Mark Scopes, this is.
We've got Ted back.
We've got Ted, but still he's got his microphone muted.
I'll click on Ted again. Hang about, I'll get rid of the cross.
Right, mate.
Ted, it's the Google Hangout setting. Click on the microphone, the setting at the top, and put your microphone.
Have you got a microphone with you, Ted? Did you forget to pack your microphone?
Is it a laptop with a rubbish microphone? Can you write things down and hold them to the camera?
He's staring at it intently.
We won't be able to read it.
That's true.
I can't see what you're waving at us, Ted. I'm a bit scared.
I'm really hoping that's... Yeah. There's his microphone.
There's a microphone.
Is it plugged in?
Is there a bit of
Is
pocket
the other end of it
fluff
plugged
in
in?
the
Try
phone?
turning it off and on again.
Might have a bit of pocket fluff in his phone.
You're a bit of pocket fluff.
Only at the weekends. Mark Scope says belly beef chow mein stir fry and belly mojo busting Revell solo speeder.
Ooh, Michael Jackman says belly mint aero bar bench still painting the hull of the Golden Hind.
Down near the bottom of the chat, Skipper Scale Model says, I can't get my mic to work. We noted. We noticed you can't get your mic to work. That's why we can't hear you. That's why we're not answering you if you're talking to us.
Does the laptop not have a microphone, Ted? Click on the little cogwheel in the top right and then choose your audio source. There you go. Where are we up to? Malcolm says, belly chicken biryani with coconut bench, scratch-built rhyolite mercantile building. Interesting. Phil Lewis says, the chop is an allegory for life. Delicious.
I just read that one. I know where you are now.
Okay. Sarah Jane
I thought it said alligator, though.
Sarah Jane says, belly is chicken korma, bench is Yamaha Barry Sheen version. Nice.
Stu Pot says, get a Barnsley chop. I don't know what that is, but if it's like that much meat and a little bit of bone, I'll be happy with that.
It must be bigger.
Yeah, Dave Cardboard says their chops are a waste of time. Get a pork loin.
Yeah, unless it's lamb you want, in which case don't get a pork one.
Ted says nothing's working, it won't find a mic. Well, at least your words are not in sync, like mine are not in sync, but yours are worse than mine, so... Yeah.
His are just not. Well, if you could delight us with your pretty face, Ted, but then just type in the chat.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
How much sign language do you know?
Yeah.
Not the rude type.
Can you communicate via interpretive dance? Would that work? On behalf of Emma, who is sleeping off a migraine, says Tim Young, Belly, the same pasta and hot dogs bench, a farmhouse and holiday cottage scene with double O gauge scenery, and just finished a Meng Toon charbis.
Oh, nice.
This. I don't know what a charbis is.
Andy M, belly, chili rice, etc. Bench is a 1/350th TOS USS Enterprise.
Do you know what TOS means?
No.
It's toss us.
The original series.
Oh, I'm a next generation man.
Yeah, that's TNG.
Ted likes his toss, don't you, Ted? You like a bit of TOS. Rephrase that carefully.
Yeah. Dangerous ground, Fox. And moving on.
This is Ian Thompson says this is literally a TEDx but no talk. It's like a TEDx talk.
Yeah.
That was
Sprue and Glue says if we ignore Ted, he'll go away. We don't want to
Oh,
ignore Ted.
we don't want Ted.
Ted's
no,
lovely.
we
Leave
love
Ted
having
alone.
Ted.
Yeah.
Even having him sitting there quietly in the background has already given us more style and decorum than we had before we started.
Even if he's silent, he's doing a far more professional job than I am.
He might still be a still picture though, because he might be used up all his data.
He's probably gone to bed now. What you don't realise is, of course, what you can see behind him is like 75% of the lem. Behind the camera is Mrs. Ted squished into a corner going, "Will you just get on with it?"
She might be standing exactly behind Ted.
Mrs. Ted stood outside with an aerial. Left a bit, right a bit.
Charbis is a French tank. Oh, of course it is. I know what you mean now. The Charbis, yeah. I know what you mean.
Red Len was saying a Barnsley chop is a double chop, not cut in half.
Yeah. The Charbis looks like a chibi tank in real life. I know it now. HG Barnes says, "Who's Ted?"
Dave Cardboard in the belly, 1 corned beef sandwich, 2 packets of crisps, 3 wagon wheels and a partridge in a pear tray.
Wagon wheels.
Bench is a grey thing with wings.
Oh, glad that was nailed down, that one.
Okay.
Anders Ericsson asks a question. He says, "Question about modelling. What paint is the best to use for brush painting?" I'll let you two guys go first. In your experience.
For me, I'm actually getting quite into the Revell Aquas, if I'm honest.
All right.
Yeah, I find them all right for brush painting. Obviously, the obligatory model colour. But I've got no Citadels, Fox, so I wouldn't know, mate.
Yeah, the Citadel stuff would be my go-to brush painting paint at the moment. I've built up quite a supply of it, so I've got most colours that I need. But yeah, that's probably going to be Fox's answer as well.
Yeah. I would say the absolute best is by far, by a long country mile, is Citadel paints. They're just the best for brush painting. Very closely followed by Vallejo, any of the Vallejo.
Yeah.
eModels are now starting to stock the Citadel paints, by the way. They've only got a small selection because of the entire world being on fire with the chocolate Velociraptor 19. They're slowly building up a stock of the paints. So they've got a small selection right now, and they'll be getting more as time goes by. So, yeah, Citadel paints, by far, it's the best for brushing. They're just the nuts, he said carefully.
Spiddy's asking, is anyone else experiencing sound problems? He's got quiet audio and occasional hissing, like static. We had a bit of that earlier, didn't we, before we
Don't know. I mean, me and Colin have both got fans on because it's warm down here.
Yeah.
Fox is up north where it's always cold, so he hasn't. But it might be fans kicking in from time to time, although the audio shouldn't be quiet.
Yeah,
so
I'm up north.
Hopefully it's just
you. I'm up north near the wall. It's always cold. Yeah, the Black Watch.
Nevbo's in the chat. Hello, Nevbo. He's another one of your mods there, folks.
Anders can't go wrong with Vallejo, Revell, and Humbrol acrylics with a little thinning, says Tim Young. Revell Aqua, says Andrew Preston.
Yeah.
Sergeant Bone says Top Ramen. I wouldn't paint with them, but I would recommend Top Ramen.
Yeah, I've not had the opportunity with Citadels, really. I suppose I should get some and have a play.
You need to get all of them because they are just the best place for brush painting.
You're not biased at all, are you?
There's only like 1,000 in the range or something, you know.
Yeah, Phil East's saying there are lots of good options, Anders. What's available to you? It depends on, like you say, what you can get locally, innit?
The only thing I really say not to bother with, because most model paints are absolutely fine.
Hmm.
Stick to water-based acrylics for brush painting. Don't really go for. You can paint with lacquers because they'll go on smooth. But for most things, I'd say stick with water-based acrylics. Tamiya paints don't even try. You have to do incantations and light prayer sticks and all that just to get them to the right thinning mix to get them to brush properly. And they're not designed for that, so don't bother with those. The only paints I'd say steer clear of ever is just the kind of craft paints you get from the craft store, for like doing hand paintings. And don't go for craft paints because they're usually very low quality pigments and they've got pebbles in them, and they're not designed for model painting. They're usually very transparent and they're really lumpy and horrible. Stick to model making paints and stick to water based acrylics. You really can't go wrong. There's a lot of options out there. And HG Barnes says, anyone mixed retarder with different brands, i.e. Tamiya retarder with Model Master? I've never felt the need to use a retarder.
No, I've not really gone down that road really.
If you're brush painting, just use a wet palette. It makes the paint not go dry. And if you're airbrushing, you might have the pressure a bit too high, or you might have the paint a bit too thick if it's drying out all the time. Some tip dry on airbrush is normal, especially with white paint, but if it's drying out all the time, either you live in the Sahara or maybe the pressure's a bit too high.
Yeah, knock your pressure down a tad, innit?
Yeah,
Dave Cardboard says, whenever I buy a new grey thing with wings, how come it always needs a different grey to all the greys that I've had before? How many different greys are there?
All of them.
And are USAF on a mission to use all of them? I'm
Yes.
not going to answer how many greys there are because there's lots of shades of them, but I don't know how many.
More than 50, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Is it an oscillating fan because the sound comes and goes periodically?
My fan's no longer oscillating, so let us know.
Yeah, these two guys are down south where all the Poncy French weather is, so they get all the warmth. We're proper northerners up here. We get cold and wind and whippets, so I'm fine. Use lots of thinner with Tamiya, says Nevbo. Yeah, I mean, you can brush paint with Tamiya, but the problem with Tamiya paints is, first of all, like Nevbo says, you have to get them really thin.
Yeah.
They're not designed for airbrushing. But they're also not water-based acrylics. They're more like lacquers. So when you paint with them, very quickly they flash off and you get a skin over the top. Very, very quickly, faster than with the water-based acrylics. Yeah. So when you brush over them, if you go back over that same bit by accident while you're brushing around, it'll pull the skin up and you get little balls of paint coming up. It doesn't cope well with being brushed. So the people that will say, I can brush Tamiya, it's fine. And I used to when I was a kid, but if you're wanting to make a good quality paint job, just use water-based acrylics.
Yeah.
And Ian Thompson asked, what is a retarder? It's you add it to paint to make it not dry as fast.
Yeah. It slows the drying time down a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. For a lot of paints, it's when you're airbrushing, if it's drying out fast, especially if you live in a hot climate. But if you're brush painting, like I say, just buy or make a wet palette. That's a much better solution. Let's have a look Warwick too.
Modelmaking Mayhem's asking, Foxx, do you plan on another Star Wars / Trek kit for eModels?
Probably not. Maybe not another Star Wars one. I don't know though. I do have a Y-wing in my own personal stash.
Yeah.
To do. I don't know what's next for eModels though. I need to, without going into too much inside baseball, I need to start doing some stuff that I can sell.
Yeah.
I do this for a living, so I need to start building some of my stash to get it sold. So I don't know when the next eModels build for me will be, but it might be something that I cannot spend 8 months doing. So it might be. I'm thinking I might do. If they've still got it in stock, I might do the Canis Rex Imperial Knight.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah,
that's a lovely thing to paint. It's a lovely.
You haven't got that tank to do anymore, have you?
Okay. Do what?
Skullfish was asking me in chat what's on the bottom of my cup. I'll let you know when it's empty.
Pat saying, hi models, you haven't said hi to me. Hi Pat, I'll let Foxx read the rest of your name out.
Patrick Stachewski. He says, I'm Patrick Stachewski's personal account. The last account turned out to be my school account.
Oh, different.
Spree and Glue says with an H. I don't know why.
Tim Young saying, light Ghost Ocean, dark grey, post 1980.
Be careful with Tamiya and water-based additives. It can have issues due to Tamiya being alcohol-based. Yeah, don't assume. Basically, if you get a product for acrylic paints, the best thing to think about Tamiya paints is just, even though it says acrylic on the pot, treat them as lacquers. Use alcohol-based thinners or lacquer thinners. Don't use water. Don't thin them with water. Don't thin them with stuff for water-based paints. Just kind of put Tamiya to one side because they're not really acrylics. They're not quite lacquers, but they're alcohol-based acrylics, which means they're not really. They don't play well with others, basically.
Tim Young says brush paint with Tamiya. Add 42% thinner, 3% water, 2 parts holy water, 1 part unicorn wheat, and pray to all the old gods.
Yeah, don't forget to obviously incantations for the Omniscire and use the correct unguents about your body. Apply the correct unguents to your body.
Whilst pointing east, southeast.
Yes. Tammy takes a particular technique to brush paint and will mostly end in sadness. Yeah.
Yeah.
It will.
Yes. It doesn't refresh, it just drags, doesn't it?
Yeah. Where are we?
Phil Lewis says, with most greys you can actually get away with near enough, as weathering will often change the shade.
Yeah.
With all modelling you can always get away with near enough. It all depends on yourself as to how far you want to take recreation and accuracy. It's all up to you.
Ian MG Thompson saying, Foxx, you said Citadel paint is the best. Is that only with a wet palette, or does it not matter?
Doesn't matter.
You don't have to have a wet palette.
If you don't have a wet palette, Foxx will shout at you.
No. You don't have to have a wet palette. I only shout at you, Chris, because you paint straight from the pot and now you're a heathen and you're a heretic. With water-based acrylics, you don't have to have a wet palette. You can use a tile or a plate or a piece of glass or whatever you want as a palette. You can have what's called a dry palette. That's just like something that's not porous. A lot of people have like a kitchen tile
or straight from the pot.
No, not straight. But you want to add a little tiny bit of water on your painting to thin the paint a little bit. You don't want to take paint straight from the pot like Chris. Don't be like Chris.
Pat Straszewski is saying, can you do a motorcycle model?
Me? Oh, no.
No, I'm
B3 says,
one
I only
next.
know about grey primer. I had no idea there were other colours. The gloss black is lovely. That would make some of your stuff look really good.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I was talking about wet palettes.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have a wet palette. A wet palette is just a way to make the. If you have a normal palette and you're painting with it, the paint will dry out really fast, and you have to get more paint. If you've got a wet palette, it just keeps the paint hydrated, and it means you can use that paint on the palette longer. And if you mix a special colour, and then you come back the next day, that colour's still there, and you can still paint with it. Whereas if you use a tile or a piece of glass or something, it'll just dry out pretty quickly. So you don't have to have a wet palette. It will just make your painting much more enjoyable.
You could do what I do. Wait till your wife goes to bed and sneak your wet palette in the fridge.
Yeah, I've done that. Twisted Rail Hobby says, my brain hurts. I think I need to lay down with all this model talk.
Vincent's in, Mr. Loft's Model Making, saying hi. Hi, Vincent. How you doing?
To give Patrick a proper response, I wouldn't do a motorcycle. I don't do shiny things. I do weathered stuff, and motorcycles aren't. I mean, I could theoretically do a World War II motorcycle because they're often beaten, battered, and weathered, but it's not my wheelhouse. I'm more.
I'm doing one next, Pat.
Yep.
And Chris build.
Colin's got one coming up, and Chris did one on the eModels channel. He did the big Africa twin.
Yeah, the big Africa twin.
Yeah.
That was a 1/8 scale, wasn't it, Chris? That Africa twin.
1/6.
1/6 even, yeah.
Who else paints straight from the Viejo dropper bottles too? Says Tim, you're banned. Ian Thompson says, wait, you're not meant to paint straight from the pot? No. You can with lacquers, and you can with Viejo metal colours because they're really, really thin. But most
you can with Citadel.
Paul Lines is asking, if he doesn't put enough water in his wet palette, will it just be moist?
It'll be moist.
Yeah, moist palette's always good.
You've got a bit of lateral lisp there for that one. Moist. I like a nice bit of lateral lisp.
Vincent saying, evening, Cole. Fine, mate. Yourself? Yeah, fine and dandy, mate.
How about a dirty, muddy motocross motorcycle, Fox? I bet that would be right up your street. It would be, apart from the building bit and the bike bit, the muddy bit.
You could put all the individual spokes in and bend them nicely, and
yeah,
you'd enjoy that.
The thing you'll learn. We've always said this anyway, but the thing we always sort of talk about is it's when you're always wondering about what should I make. We often get the question, "What's the best kit? What should I build?" Getting into it, what do you recommend? Build what you think looks cool. If you're always wondering what shall I build next or what should I first build, don't build something you have no interest in.
No.
Because if you're
Yeah.
like me, because I'm a painter, not a builder, so I can't stand the building part of the process. It bores me rigid most of the time. So my focus is the painting and weathering.
Mm.
So if I'm building something that I have no interest in, like a motorbike or a shiny sports car, that makes that building process even more boring because I even have less interest. So one piece of advice we always give is if you're looking at what you should build, there's nothing wrong with like going out of your comfort zone. Of course, you should always do that. But if you really have no interest in something, it's pointless.
It's going to make it very painful and a chore to build, isn't it? And your work's going to suffer, isn't it?
Yeah, I would never suggest someone spend money on a kit that they have no interest in the subject matter because you're not going to put any passion into it. You're going to be like, I don't like this. I don't like cars or bikes or planes or whatever. So, yes, that's why we shiny bikes and stuff.
Pat's asking, what's the best figure model brand? You've got Nuts Planets. They do figures and busts, don't they?
I don't know.
It depends what scale you're looking at, but there's.
I mean, my 1/10 busts I usually get Nuts Planet. So.
Depends if it means like figures to go with the model, or if it means like like 1/35 or stuff.
Oh yeah, you can get Tamiya and the usual kit manufacturers, can't you? Do ordinary scale figures.
If you're looking at sort of standard scales like 1/35, then like Tamiya and ICM. If you're looking at modern military, ICM do a lot of like funny little kits of like three like dudes and a kid.
Yeah.
Middle East, that kind of. They do lots of funky little kits.
Yeah, Tim Youngs is saying that mini art, master box as well, creative poses even, and great detail work.
Yep, absolutely. Phil Lewis says you just answered the above removed question that he removed, so I don't know what the question was. Tamiya cheap and go together.
We don't remember what we're talking about.
Mini art master. Oh, you've done that one, yeah. The thing with Tamiya is Tamiya kits are actually most of their figure sets are like 45 years old.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, and it's funny because you look at Tamiya figures, and even though theirs are not the most cutting edge today, because they're like 30 or 40 years old molds, they're still vastly ahead of a lot of manufacturers like Revell and the Teleri just can't do figures for toffee. And even 45-year-old Tamiya figures, moldings like 1/35, just blow Revell and Teleri out of the water for their figures. It's amazing.
HG Bonds has got a question asking, what are your suggestions for detailing paintbrushes? Me personally would be Winsor & Newton Series 7s. But again, I think you'll probably go for Citadel, wouldn't you, mate? Because you do the miniatures as well, don't you?
I would actually go for a company called Broken Toad, which unfortunately eModels don't stock. Broken Toad is really, really nice. But because it's an eModels show, I would also recommend the Games Workshop brushes, the Artificer brushes, the fine layer brushes, the small layer brushes. They're really nice. They are really, really nice. They're not the cheapest.
Have eModels got the Army Painter ones in at the moment?
Yes,
yes, another good brand, isn't it?
Yeah, the Army Painter Mega Brush set and those brushes as well. They're really, really good. So yeah, any of those. But yes, the Winsor & Series 7s are fantastic, but they're quite expensive.
They're very expensive, aren't they? They're okay if you do a lot of figure painting.
Oh yeah.
Ian Thompson saying to all, if you don't try other kits, how do you know if you don't like them or not?
Well, when I was saying about that, what I meant was if you have no interest in sports cars, you wouldn't want to make a model of a sports car because you're not interested in the thing. But if you like sports cars but you've never made it, that's what we're trying to say is go out your comfort zone. If I had an interest in like Formula One cars, for example, I hate shiny models. I can't do them, but I'd be like, well, I like Formula One cars, so I might make one. But if I had no interest at all in F1 cars, I'm not going to put myself through the grueling thing of hello.
Someone just subscribed.
Yay! What, to us or to eModels or to you?
I have no idea. I didn't know that was still turned on. So.
Yeah, that would be the eModels channel, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I did notice a message.
Oh, sorry, go on, Chris.
I'm just going to message that Gemma says, have the three of them been replaced tonight as they're sounding slightly professional with the modelling talk?
No, it's weird, isn't it?
It's because we haven't got Ted disrupting us.
Yeah, I think Ted must be bringing us down.
He leads us astray, doesn't he, really?
Yeah, it's all Ted's fault. So what we're saying is basically, we're not saying don't do it, but we're saying if you try and make a model of a subject that you have no interest in, you'll struggle to get the mojo. Because your mojo will go, if I can't stand, I don't know, speedboats, and I try making a model of a speedboat, I'm not going to have any passion for it. I'm going to be like bored. I want to make a tank. So we're not saying don't, go out your comfort zone, of course, but
Oh yeah, you like to challenge yourself. I mean, I go in the model shops when I'm out and about, and you'll see a random kit that takes your eye, and it could be from the most obscure manufacturer, but because the subject is something you like,
I
then
remember
I'll
the
just
days when
grab
you
it.
could be out and about.
Say again?
I remember the days when you could be out and about.
Yeah,
See-
the day. I went outside the other day. The graphics were rubbish.
My missus is latched onto the fact that whenever we go away on holiday, the first point of interest I put wherever we're going are local model shops.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, have a look, see what's down this road, love. Oh,
Like me when I was a kid, we used to go to our caravan in the lakes. He'd be like, "Oh, let's just look at the shop over there." But that's the thing. It's more just a case of if you're going to spend money on a kit, you may as well spend money on a kit that will, at the very least, interest you.
Yeah.
But if you have no interest in the subject of the kit, then you probably it's outside your comfort zone. You're probably going to be throwing your money away and not going to enjoy it. You'll do a half-baked job. Nearly said something else. So stick to what you enjoy is what we're saying. If you look at something and think that looks cool, that's a sign that you can put money on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Ian says, how do you stretch yourselves to gain new skills? Well, you don't have to do something from a different theme or genre to stretch yourself and do new skills. There's lots of different kits in the theme that you like.
I mean, with me, it can be scratch building, it can be adding something additional to it, or a diode to go with it, modifying the kit.
A good resource for me, what I like to do is it's easy to not realise that you don't know something. There's a skill you don't know about, and what I like to do is just watch and read as much as I can, like on the YouTubes and everywhere else on the internet, because I'll see somebody doing something.
Yeah.
And it'll be either a technique I've never thought of, or it'll be a model that I didn't know existed, and I'll think, oh, I like that model, or I like that technique, or something. And just because I'm taking all that in by osmosis, I'll pick up the new thing. Because if I like when I did my first Millennium Falcon, I hadn't done a Millennium Falcon before, and I hadn't painted a proper model since I was like 15. So I watched a load of videos on YouTube to look at techniques I could use for the Falcon, and most of them were completely new techniques to me at the time because I hadn't done oil paints and stuff like that. So I would just say watch as much as you can. Watch other people doing stuff because you'll pick up tips you didn't even know about. I've learned so many things. By learned, I mean stolen so many ideas.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's watching people blending colour, layers, filters, pin washes, dot filters, and chipping and that. That's how I got into watching you guys, because they're techniques that you think I'd like to learn, so you just sit there and binge watch other people doing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of techniques that I'll never learn. I'll never learn how to do proper 2K clear coat on a car because I'm never going to do a car. But there's lots of techniques I didn't know about years back. I didn't know about oil paint weathering. I didn't know about filters. Or, loads of different. I didn't know about enamels. Every time you watch somebody do something, every now and then you'll see somebody do something you never thought of before, and you're like, "Ooh, I like this."
I'll give
that a go.
It's like a lot of the armour builders with the weathering and techniques and that, and the sort of dust and detritus. It's fascinating.
I actually find, I don't know if this is the same for you guys, but I do find myself watching videos of people that do like armour like that. I know the videos you mean.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, now we're going to do this paint chips or this whatever they're doing, and I'll be like, I'm going to try that, and then I'll get the model. I'll be like, really can't be fussed. This is too much hard work. It's taking.
It's a technique I'm sort of quite influenced because I've got quite a stash of armour because I've been press ganged into buying it, and because I hadn't built any, it's again like people say in the chat, you're challenging yourself, aren't you? You're moving into another area, and having watched what I would call the professionals do it, it's interesting when you go to do it yourself and you're like, okay, that really didn't work out how I thought it would, but it's part of the hobby, isn't it? You've always got to try and learn something.
Yeah, for me the challenge is having, because I'm a lazy builder, a model maker, and I'm an impatient model maker.
Yeah.
And if I can find a quick way to do something, I'll do it, as long as it looks as good as
yeah.
it. But a lot of the more advanced armor techniques, they just by their nature take so long to do, and I want to learn how to not get bored halfway and start cutting corners.
But then on the other hand, I watched you do that build for George, the Gundam with the animated line work, and that just fascinated me pretty much to actually go out and get a Gundam.
But you haven't tried it yourself yet.
Yeah, no, I'm tempted to go and pull the pin and get a Gundam and have a go at doing it.
But that was interesting for me because if people don't know what this is, I built a Gundam, but I did a Borderlands style artwork.
Yes.
So it was painted to look like something out of Borderlands. So I painted it in a very certain way, to have very certain kind of blending of colours to have that kind of watercolour look, and then did lots of ink outlining all over it. And there wasn't really a lot. I tried to watch videos on how to do the ink outlining to get ideas.
Yeah.
Nobody was really doing it in a way that looked anywhere near like I wanted to. They was all like, yeah, that's horrible. They're all like big blocky things. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to do manga. I'm trying to do the Borderlands style. So in the end, I just kind of had to just sit and figure it out, and it was great fun. It was, but that's one of the rare times where I've had the patience to sit there and do it.
I mean, it was one of those I hadn't seen that technique before, and it just latched me in, you know. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I might have to go and
Vincent
get
says cell shaded. It's not quite cell shaded, but that's probably the closest popular definition for it.
Yeah.
It's not cell shaded at all. It's comic book style. It's watercolors and inks style. Cell shaded is often like flat colors with an outline. The style I did was like realistic. It's like comic book where it's a traditional thing of you ink it and then you color it.
Yeah.
It's watercolor and ink color.
And as he's saying, his problem is that he has too much patience and he tends never to get anywhere with his models. Yeah, I can have a habit of overcomplicating a build, because I'll do a build and I think, right, okay, I can light it up, I can add sound, I can do this, and before long it's turned into this massive project, and it's like a 1/12 motorbike.
Well, we all know about Anders like Panzer IV that's been going on for about 2 years. I think Anders started his Panzer IV when Ted finished his. Ted had brown hair in those days.
Time is passing by, and we've had a couple of requests for the What's in Store. So
yes,
it's that sort of time.
absolutely. It is Chris's What's in Store this week, and over to the man with the buttons for his What's in Store.
Yeah, I'm going to pass it over to Foxx first. Foxx likes doing the introductions.
For the terms and conditions, even.
Yeah.
Termen und Condition Gefahrten mit the rules and regulation. Ja, das ist richtig. Yes, so it's going to be the What's in Store. Now, it's, as always, Chris is going to go through some lovely, delightful items in the eModels store that he's picked out. These will have a theme, and this tonight is for Anne Mug. So, what you want to do is you want to watch Chris go through each of the things and try and guess the theme, but do not put your answer in chat at all until Chris comes back and says, right, that's all the things. What is the theme? Go. Then you can put your answer in chat. If you answer before Chris says go, we will point at you and laugh and just give you nothing. But the first person to get the answer right will win a mug. Now, keep in mind, of course, you see the chat, you'll always be first. But that's not the actual YouTube chat. We see the YouTube chat the way YouTube actually receives the comments. So if we pick someone and you're first on your screen, don't be upset. It's just you're not seeing the actual real full proper chat. We're seeing it in actual order.
Now,
now, one thing tonight is Chris has changed the way he's doing it, so we can't see what's in store. So we're just going to shut up and let Chris crack on with it, because I've got no idea what his options were.
Yeah, you looked at them earlier, but yeah.
But that was then. This is now.
We do have Ted back in the chat. He says he appears to have gone to the dark side of the moon in the limb. He's got no signal.
Oh.
So
well,
yeah.
Be with us in the text chat, Ted, because at least you can give us your finger words.
Yeah, you if you can see the video, you can even look at the What's in Store, but you can't win.
Model Making Mayhem saying I should get a Gundam. Yeah, I'm going to pick Fox's brains and get his opinion on what he thinks I should build.
I can, yeah, we can do that. I know.
Right, I shall click on me and it might work. There you go. Right, so I'm going to bring up my first item for What's in Store.
I'm going to
there we have it.
Browser tab to see what these are now, aren't I?
Yeah, I've got it on the other screen.
I'm going to do it on my iPad, so I can't see. Oh no, I can't see chat.
You can find it anywhere. It's fine.
If
you could open up the links that I sent you earlier.
I'll just have to shout at you a lot.
You do look really professional, though, Chris. I'll give you that.
Thank you very much.
All we can see is Chris, basically. So.
You can see me, but they can't see me, so I can do whatever I like.
I don't know why I've locked on you, but then I don't actually know. But come on.
Right, the first item in tonight's What's in Store. Now, I should tell you before I go through them all, as ever they are themed, and they are themed to today. I like to get my What's in Store not only themed together, but themed with the current time and place. So it is actually themed on today's date. So that might give you a help. It might not give you much help, but you know, okay. There are 6 items in today.
Pants on, because this is one of Chris's, remember? So
yeah, this is one of mine. The order of these is also important. You can. The answer effectively is 5 words, one from each item.
Have you been
And
going
then the
through
last
your
item
Guinness
is a
Book
bit
of
more
Records?
linking them together. So there we go. The first one is the Hot Wheels Star Wars First Order TIE Fighter. Now, it's sort of a toy, but it's a very nice toy, and you can repaint it and make it look even better. Yeah, that's basically all we've got to go for that. So
I can see it. I can see a very small thumbnail of it.
you can see it, but there you go.
Yes.
Right, I'll nip through them. I'll go through them again, but I'll nip through them all first.
Is that
and
it?
show you what's
Wow,
what.
that was fast.
The
Well, that
second
was
item-
quick. Did I nod off?
Yeah, that was that. Well, that was that. It's all you need to know. That's fine. The second item is something I found and was quite interested in. It's the Zvezda 135th Russian Contemporary Tank Crew.
Yes.
It's just the crew.
Just the crew.
For, I don't know, a particular Russian tank? Or I don't know. It's the
probably for the
they're in
T90.
the protective cowboy equipment, apparently. I don't know what that means.
I don't know how contemporary is. It's like this decade or 60s to today,
I
or-
think it goes with these Zvezda T90 recent ones. So,
Ah, yeah. They look kind of
It's the
like
combat version.
yeah.
post 2000.
And you get the three guys in different poses for different places in the tank.
Yeah.
Now you can tell they're not British because not one of them is pointing.
Yes.
Mind you, you have someone with binoculars, Fox.
The third one might be pointing because you can only see his head.
Yeah, but you get a driver. You get it looks like you've got a driver, a nav, and an officer poking his head up. But yeah, it's like a nice little three-man crew. That now Zvezda do quite nice figures. People often forget that Zvezda do actually do figure sets. So
I think he probably has just been pointing because he looks a bit tired. He's probably just put his arm down.
Yeah, he's like, oh, a little bit tired now.
Perhaps he's just finished pointing.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe he's finished
Yeah,
pointing.
he's
He's
just
got to
done
light
a bit
his
of
pipe.
pointing. Now he's having a rest before he gets to point again.
When you finish pointing, sit down, light your pipe, and point and admire your handiwork.
Minion, can
Yeah,
you
there we
pass
go.
me my moustache
and if you know
wax?
Russian, then you can read all that bit as well. It says Russian Contemporary Tank Crew. Right, third up, we have the Albion Alloys Professional Sanding Film Kit.
I have no words to add for this one.
It's one sheet of each of 5 different grits of sandpaper, basically, but in a film rather than a paper.
Yeah.
So I think that just
right.
means it's sort of softer and easier to bend.
Oh, a bit like words fail me.
There isn't more information.
Flexi-file stuff, is it? Similar to
Bit
that?
like 3M stuff, but like very fine. Okay, interesting.
It's made in Canada, Fox. Look.
Oh. Yeah, where's your flag?
Oh, it's up there, and I can't get to it now without finagling things.
Yeah, without
Nobody
unplugging
can
and
see you
breaking
anyway,
the
so it's
internet.
okay. You
You
don't
can
have to.
just see it there in the corner of my little screen.
Yeah.
Just-
Nobody can see you at the moment. They can only see this screen.
Well, that's just nonsense.
So there we go. You can hide and do things without people noticing.
But you might be able to see
The
it at the
fourth
bottom.
item tonight, we have the Aoshima 124th Knight Rider Night 2000.
Do you want to go out and come back in again on that one?
No, it's Knight Rider Season 3 kit, Knight Industries 2000 kit. It's the kit basically. That's what it is. And that's all we know about that one yet.
Yes, I did almost buy not obviously a Knight Rider, but the car that's is it? I've forgotten now. Is it a Firebird?
It's Trans Am, yeah.
I nearly bought a Trans Am once, nearly, but the insurance would have cost as much as the car because I was like 26. So yeah, it didn't happen. And also, it was terrible.
Yeah, nice kit says Dexterous Crafter. Yes, absolutely. Right, and the fifth one, which is sort of the last one of the theme, is the Carson 1/8 Land Rover Defender, and that's a radio controlled car. I don't know how much of an actual kit it is, but it's all the things you need to get it off road and driving around.
It might be a not kit. I think
It doesn't look particularly kit-like. It is just showing it already built.
I've learned recently there's two grades of remote control. There's toy grade and hobby grade.
Yeah.
Toy grade is pre-assembled, you get out of the box and play with it, and hobby grade is you build it. So I think this would be classed as toy grade.
It's got lights, so driving at dusk is no problem.
It's got wibbly wobbly wheels. Of course, it's
Not
a
for
Land
children
Rover,
under 3 years.
Even though it's a Defender, it's still a Land Rover, so it's still correct.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that
It's
the
just a
bad
bit too
type of
long, though,
Land
between the
Rover?
wheelbase, isn't it?
That's a short wheelbase. That is it? Oh no, it's a long wheelbase. Oh,
I don't know. It's four-wheel drive thing, isn't it?
it's long wheelbase. Yeah, could be a Series 3. That'd be even better.
Is that worse? I don't know.
Short wheelbase for the win.
Is it? But that makes it easier to go over stuff, doesn't it?
It's just short wheelbase. It's just funky, mate.
Yeah.
All the cool
It'll make
dudes have
parking
short
easier.
wheelbase landing.
Short wheelbase 4-door rather than short wheelbase 5-6 door. Yeah.
Zedster says 5 doors, so long wheelbase. I don't
Yep.
know.
It's a lube.
When they talk about long wheelbase, is it the distance between the wheels front to back, not
Yeah.
sideways?
Yeah. Short wheelbase is passenger door, driver door, and back seats. Long
Yeah.
wheelbase is passenger door, driver door, back door, lots of seats, door. And really long wheelbase is the missile launcher Rapier that you used to get in the army.
Yeah,
It's
all
like
right,
longer
like the
than a long
limo one.
wheelbase. I nearly bought one of them as well once, but without missiles, obviously.
Right, the last item tonight is the Hobby Boss 1200 Japanese battleship Mikasa, 1902.
Mikasa is Tukasa.
Indeed. Now, this is where my theme sort of falls down a little bit, because I put in a search term and it came up with this, which sort of fits the search term but doesn't quite.
So it's a bit. It's maybe a little tiny bit of a possible red herring, perhaps.
It's possibly a red herring, but I shall tell you what the red herring is, which will make it better for you. The reason it did actually come up in my search is because of that bit there.
What bit where?
The bit that I've highlighted.
I can't see that.
You can't see that. It's 1903.
Oh, okay. See, I'm not a boat builder. I don't do the battleships, but I've always said that I could build some kind of tramp steamer at some point because it's fun to be had. And I like the look of that. It's kind of shoddy. It's kind of a tramp steamer with lots of weapons on it. It's kind of crossing a tramp steamer and a battleship, and I find it interesting. Or then I just saw the photo etch, my interest waned incredibly.
Yeah, 1200 photo etch is going to be fun.
Yeah, the trouser tent is no longer a trouser tent. Let's just leave it at that. It's gone now. Yeah. But I like the look of it. It's got that kind of slightly steampunkish, a bit dishevelled.
Yeah, I mean, it's a steamboat with sails on it, so they seem to be a bit confused.
Yeah. You could do with a Savannah paddle steamer or something like that.
No. I want a tramp steamer. I want the kind of vessels that were merchant vessels in World War II, the British merchant vessels.
Right. Yeah. I know.
They were kind of like one funnel, maybe two funnel, quite long but shoddy old things.
Ted says it was built in Barrow.
Oh.
Ted knows because they built all the ships.
Ted probably built it.
He was an apprentice hot riveter back when that was built.
It would have been.
If I remember rightly, a lot of the Japanese naval force were actually built in Barrow. And perhaps Scotland somewhere.
Right, so I shall nip through them and all. Bear in mind, I say, this isn't 1902. It is, but the thing that I looked for is 1903. So that sort of gives you where you're looking. And the following 5 things each have one word in the answer that I'm looking for. I'm not going to need you to put in all 5, but as long as you get either 3 or 2 of them, then you'll be all right. So we've got the Hot Wheels Star Wars First Order TIE Fighter. We have the Zvezda Russian Contemporary Tank Crew. We have Professional Sanding Film Kit. We have the Knight Rider Kit. And the Carson 1/8 Land Rover Defender. And we've got the 1902 Stroke 3. So I shall return back to me. I'm here. What is tonight's theme? For a mug, go.
Now you said it was one word from each, so is it like the first contemporary film night?
Stop guessing. They've got to guess the words in the thing, not you.
I wasn't giving the answer.
I'm not
You can't
even going to say
guess.
what I
No,
was
Chris's
thinking of.
random musings. No, that's not right. No idea on this theme, says Tim. Star Wars Jedi Knights. No.
I think Chris's often seem to require that you have a specific knowledge of historical events.
Yeah, normal service next week, folks. It's one of mine.
You can Google them. I mean, the worst comes to the worst. You could always Google this date, 1903, and see what happened.
It's clearly the first use of bitumen in an industrial setting off the coast of Edinburgh.
Yeah, but
on a
what I
Wednesday.
got come up in the Google search using some of them keywords isn't family show friendly.
That's just your particular Google, Colin. We all know that your Google's not right.
I just
The
typed
first
hot
word is
Russian and
indeed
film
first.
and it's
Yeah. And now you're downloading something you didn't expect.
yeah, and I've got all these weird adverts popping up all over me.
That's all gone wrong. Oh.
Sprue Glue Addicts going, Gemma, what's the answer?
Yeah, Gemma doesn't know the answer. It's not like I talk to her or anything, so...
Poor Gemma.
First airplane flight? No. First flight? No. First talkie film, says Russell. That's on the right sort of... Yeah, but no. But yeah, but no.
Vincent says it's also historically accurate. I think the significant the boat, the ship, as it was the symbol of Japanese victory in the Russo-Japanese War. The first instance was where an Asian nation beat one of the old continental powers.
Good factoid, Vince.
Yep.
Right, Lee Barrett is in there with the correct answer, or as close to the correct answer I'm expecting anybody to get, with the first Kit Carson film.
Huh?
It's actually the first cowboy film, and it was called Kit Carson.
What? You're gonna have,
What?
I mean, okay.
All right, hang about. I'll go back to me. I'll share my screen once again.
Wow.
You
We'll
are
start at the
dealing with
beginning.
two
Well,
of the most uneducated men in the world.
We'll start at the
Tracy
end
has the
here.
most
As I said, it's
obscure
1903. 1903 was the year,
Mm-hmm.
and the year was the year that there was the first
Yeah.
Film, Kit Carson.
cowboy.
Okay. Where does the Japanese battleship come into it?
Wait a minute. The first cowboy film.
Wait, where's the cowboy?
Kit. Where's the cowboy? It's there. I said it was in protective equipment cowboy.
Oh my God!
I told you that. I even read it out.
Oh, wait, what? Are you
Wordage.
using speed like
So-
individual words in the descriptions? Oh, my
First
life.
cowboy film, Kit Carson.
What? I still don't get the Japanese battleship.
As I said, 1903.
Oh, okay,
That was
okay, I
the year
get
that it was. See, it's easy. It's easy. Everyone knows it. It's easy.
Who won?
Who won? Everybody won. Lee Barrett won.
Sprue glue addict
So,
saying,
Lee-
Gemma, you've got permission to hit Christopher very hard.
Lee, you've won an eModels mug, an eModels mug, an
An
eModels
eModels
mug,
mug,
an
an
eModels mug. If you send an email to Ted at... Is it that side? I think it's that side.
Other side, Chris, I think.
No, I think it's that side.
No, it's the other side.
I can see it on my screen. It's that side. Trust me, I know these things.
Anders Ericsson saying, Chrissy's brain isn't working anyway near ours.
That doesn't necessarily say whose brain is wrong. but-
Ostrich
this is
9000
true, yeah.
saying, Ted, please come back immediately.
Yes, send an email to ted@emodels.co.uk. We need your name, your address, and just in case, your phone number, in case the delivery guy needs it. And we'll get guys to send a mug out to you. Just like one of these that hit my airbrush.
Lee saying in the chat, big thank you. No, mate, congratulations on
An
eModels mug.
eModels mug. An
An
eModels
eModels
mug.
mug.
An eModels
An eModels
mug.
mug, eModels mug.
eModels mug.
In bold.
Moist.
Bulb mug.
Bold mug.
Right,
Phil
I'm done
Lewis's
now. I can
brain's
nap.
apparently hurting.
This seems
I
reasonable.
can nap now, so that's it.
Yeah.
Who's doing what now? What?
HG Barnes is saying, damn geniuses, laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Wasn't
I've
there
got-
a thing, Fox?
We've got to give somebody some nonsense, haven't we? Sprigly Addict says
It's Colin's turn for what's in store next week. Colin's turn for what's in store next week, so I just thought I'd pre-prompt him now. So, Colin, next week, it's yours.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying when you did yours, mate. I said normal service is resumed for next week, folks.
it'd be like things that start with F.
Oh, mate, it's going to be plastic.
What's the
Things
theme?
with no
5
H.
kits from eModels. That's the theme. With an
Spring
H.
Blue says, "Oh my God, Chris, how were we meant to read the text in the descriptions?" I read it out as well. Yeah, I always make sure I read out all the pertinent words. I do put other words in as well, but
I try not to use the word pertinent. It sounds rude. Right, shall I do the? Shall we pull a winner from last week?
we've got
Yes.
another thing. I shall click on you.
Click on me. Click on me. I shall do a screen share, which I'm not doing. yet.
Remember,
Hang on.
folks, refresh and drag.
Share screen.
That doesn't help now.
Right, you should now be seeing goodness. Are you seeing goodness?
No.
No.
Well, we're seeing you. Does that count?
Oh, do you know?
Oh.
I don't like Hangouts anymore.
Ted Fox is breaking things. He's pressing
Right, hang on,
buttons.
let's try that one. How about now?
Now we're seeing Colin. Yes, now we got it.
There we go, right. Yes, remember last week we were giving away a hang on, water in the drinking, hang on.
Slur, bitch.
Moist.
Right, so yes, we were giving away a Slave 1 Bandai 1144th Slave 1. If you've never made a Star Wars Bandai kit or any kind of Bandai kit, you are in for a treat if you win this, because it's just trouser tent time, Bandai every time. Bandai make the best kits in the world. End of. Shut up. No argument. Shut up. They do. Shut up. Right, so anyway, we are giving away a Slave 1. And what we asked you to do was, on last week's video, put a comment on there with your Star Wars character name. Now, you've got about 20 seconds. If you haven't done it yet, go and find last week's show and put a comment on there with your Star Wars character name, what your name would be if you lived in Star Wars. But please make it family friendly just in case. So I'm going to slowly...
Yeah, if you do win and it's not family friendly, we're going to disqualify you.
I've gone slowly. I've gone over to last week's video. Now, I'm not going to refresh it because we'll get an advert and we're not letting other people advertise on here. But as you can see there's the person who's missing this week. I made sure I froze it on Ted. And Ted's got his, I think you'll find expression
have you know.
All have you know, young man.
Yeah, I am a sci-fi guru.
Yeah, I know everything there is to know about Star Wars and the Enterprise and the light swords. And that, and thank you very much. Yes, that was. I'm giving people time now to put a comment in.
He did well last week, though, didn't he, Fox? Considering he knows nothing about sci-fi,
yeah,
he did well on his watching stuff.
Yeah. But the important thing you have to keep in mind is I'm wearing a hat, and Colin's wearing a hat, and even Ted's wearing a hat in this picture, but someone here isn't wearing a hat.
Yeah, we're not grassing Chris up by not him not wearing a hat, but
he may well be wearing a hat by the time he comes back to this telly screen. In a few minutes, but I think we've given people enough time now to get the comment on there if they've been slacking and not doing it. So I'm going to copy that URL there, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. I'm going to paste it into here.
Are you sad that your comment picker doesn't work anymore?
Yeah, my Sandra Cirrus comment picker.
Yeah, that was a bind, that was, wasn't it?
Now I can't look at little twirly swirly things on the screen while I pick a comment. Anyway, we're going to get the YouTube comments from that video. We have 44 unique commenters. You're all unique snowflakes. So there's 44 unique comments. If you haven't put a comment on there now, you're SOL. It's too late. Are we ready? Please ignore all the adverts. Are we ready?
Are you ready?
Give me a counting down, please, if you would, ladies.
103, 102,
4,
101.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
All the names.
Winner is, I thought it said model making guru then. I'm like, I've not put a comment on that. Winner is model making trucker. Lewis has won. Darth Jar Jar. Oh, he's banned. He's now on one. I've decided he's not one now.
We said keep it family friendly.
Yeah. So yes, model making trucker, that's Lewis. Well done, my friend. You have won yourself a lovely, lovely, orgasmic, absolute trouser tent Bandai 144th Star Wars Slave 1. I don't think he's done a Bandai yet, has he?
No, he's not had the pleasure of Bandai goodness.
Yeah. So how is he going to get that past Nat? Well, it's free.
Yeah, Jamie, he doesn't have to explain it.
It's free, Jamie. He doesn't have to get it past. It's fine.
Absolutely, he's not spent any of the housekeeping on it, has he?
Tim Young has got a good point there, though. He says he's never seen Star Wars. He's going to have to watch Star Wars before he gets it. That's the only answer.
Saying that, I've only seen the originals, mate.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's acceptable. 4, 5, and 6.
It's not.
4, 5, and 6 is all you need to watch. So, Lewis, on condition that you actually watch 4, 5, and 6, and you hope Empire Strikes Back, and we'll include Return of the Jedi, even though it's the weakest of the 3. You have to watch Empire Strikes Back because that's where this shit comes from. You have to watch them, and we're going to ask Nat to make sure you've watched them.
Nat is in chat. She says, "No, he hasn't. I might have to claim this one."
Oh, well. We'll get the guys to post it out, and then you guys can fight over it. But you have to have watched Star Wars. You can't make it without watching Star Wars. You have to. You're just not right. So
you could go one better and say he has to do a Star Wars Diamond Art before he's allowed to have the kit.
Yeah, there is that. So yes, if neither of you have made a Bandai kit before, you are in for big fat treat time because they are just the best model kits in the world ever. So shut up. Anyway, that's that. So I shall stop screen sharing. Well done. You need to send an email to ted@emodels.co.uk. It's at the top of the screen as well. You can see it up there. I'll stop sharing now. It's up there on the top of the screen, ted@emodels.co.uk. Send an email with your name, your address, and your phone number, please, because they'll need that for the courier, for the delivery guy. name, address, and phone number, and put down that you've won that kit. The hashtag it's hashtag. It's gone off the screen. 01204 01204.
Yeah.
So you've won the Slave One hashtag 01204. We'll send that on to James, and he'll get that sent out to you. So congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, mate.
Yes.
Ooh.
And words.
Yeah, everyone's saying congratulations to Lewis in the chat there.
Yep. See, you got to be in it to win it. If you don't take part, you can't win. You don't win nothing.
Absolutely.
You don't take part.
Absolutely. Vincent's going, Foxx, it's not prequels are mandatory, as well as Star Wars is Anakin's story, so saith the bearded one. What any of that means, I have no idea.
I don't know, because the moment he said prequels, I stopped listening.
Yeah.
Because they're his favourite, it was just reminiscing.
4, 5, and 6 are mandatory, everything else is optional. Really.
As soon as anyone mentions prequels, Foxx goes off into his own happy place and just pictures Jar Jar.
Oh, he goes into the sound deadening booth, doesn't he? So that certain characters that can't be mentioned.
I've got my own personal cone of silence. It's invisible, but it drops down at a moment's notice. Ka-ching.
And he's not wearing his hat, Foxx. It's not good.
Yes, Christopher is the only one here not wearing a hat. However, there is a hat right next to him. I think people in chat, if you're watching, please implore Chris to wear his hat.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
It's your job in chat to make sure Chris wears his hat.
It doesn't matter. I don't give in to demands and terrorism. So no, the hat is there, and you can look at it all you like. But yeah,
he was having a bit of a wibble before we came on because he refused to wear his hat.
Everybody just say hat until he puts his hat on in chat. Yeah. Keep typing hat until he puts his hat on.
That seems to be the end of the show this week.
You're not hosting. I am.
Yeah, but I've still got the buttons.
Yeah. Quite a few of them are going hat.
HG Barnes unfortunately, chat seems to have stopped working for me.
Gemma Williams says Christopher no hat. Therefore, you've got to put a hat on now. Gemma tells you you're not wearing a hat.
Yeah. Paul Lines is saying, I think eModels should supply you with hats. An eModels hat, an eModels hat.
An eModels hat.
eModels hat.
Yeah. We've all got our own hats with stories. All our hats have stories.
Absolutely.
Chris is not wearing a hat.
Yeah, well, Dave Cardboard says, leave your hat off. It's too hot down south.
Yeah, but it's only for a minute. You big girl blouse.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching.
I think the lip might be coming out, Cole.
I do. I think Boohoo and Wibblekins is in order there, mate, isn't you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's all breaking up. All the chat seems to have stopped working, and
that's a bind, Chris, isn't it? Considering you've got the buttons, how on earth did that happen?
It's coincidence. I'm going in a tunnel.
Oh, bless you. Yeah, hats are hiding. Retro Rabbit saying hats are hiding brain slugs.
Brain slugs. Twisted Real Hobby says Star Wars is overrated. So bad.
Oh dear, sacrilege. You can almost see Paul Stewart now with the band hammer, can't you? Tiptoeing across.
I like Star Wars and Star Trek. I like both.
Yeah, I keep meaning to binge watch them, but I don't know what it is. I watched the original 3 and I just think anything other than that's going to spoil the memory.
Yeah, there is some ones you can watch, but just the original 3, you find them.
Yeah. Nat saying night, everyone, and thank you, gents. Is it that time already, folks?
Yep.
Modelmaking Mayhem says, why?
Yeah,
why? Spooky.
So are we going to wrap up for the night then, are we, gentlemen?
Why? That's the only thing I can say with it. All I can say is why Spooky and bite a grove. I can't say anything else. Dear 48 in the Big Brother house. Everyone's naked and it's not right.
Could you imagine it if I'd been the Big Brother announcer?
Oh yeah.
Day 7.
Day 45 from the Big Brother ass.
Oh, it'd be mint, wouldn't it? I'll have to try and find an old episode and do a voiceover, but then it's copyright, isn't it?
Yeah, day 45. Bob's having a sulk and Claire's got a bit sad.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, there aren't any numbers that start with an H, so you're okay there, aren't you?
You're going, oi, you, get yourself to the diary room or else.
Day 400.
You what?
Yeah, you're having a bubble, ain't you?
United Federation of Modelers says, from Newcastle, so I can translate. Oh, so literally, like I say, is why I ate spooky and bait a grove.
HG Barnes is saying, Colin, you'd scare the blank out of them. It would be hilarious. I'd do it just for the crack. But then I always wanted to go in Big Brother, but my missus said divorce papers would have been on the table if I did so.
So
yeah, but you wouldn't see it because you'd be in the house.
I was tempted, but...
It's like, you make me an offer like that. Oof.
Mate, honestly, I legged it down the post like that. My boys were the ones that were egging me on, going, "Oh, it'd be so funny," because apparently I've got a bit of a deadpan way of saying things.
The thing is, it's like that's back in the day when Big Brother was actually cool for like the first 2 or 3 seasons. After that, it just became garbage.
Yeah, it became a load of wannabes, didn't it?
Come on, get to the diary room.
Yeah.
Tell me all your things.
Dave Cardboard saying, Star Wars fact I found this week, the guy who was a hotel manager in Local Hero was Wedge in Star Wars.
Yeah, he's a well-known actor. He's been in millions of things. He was also in, oh God, I've forgotten his name. He's a Scottish fella. He was in the things. He was in New Tricks for a while as well. He's in lots of things. He's a well veteran actor. Can't remember his name though. Skip Scale Model says, internet is patchy here, heading to Stratford tomorrow for 2 nights. See you all there. Sorry I couldn't join in from the LEM. Well, you tried to. We got a bit of your face, and we got some typed words.
Absolutely.
And you've just spent £500 on your mobile broadband.
You watch. You'll plug the microphone in once we go off air, and it'll work flawlessly.
Dennis Lawson says Russell Williamson. Yes, Dennis Lawson.
And everybody else, yeah.
Everybody says. Oh yeah, everybody says that. Your Federation of Modelers says, lost my modelling mojo over the last year. Been good to tune in. Thanks, guy. You're more than welcome.
Yeah,
we do this every week.
Losing your mojo, it happens to us all, doesn't it? And you know, it's just finding something to take your mind off of it. Come back when you feel better.
Well, very quick question before we go then, just to help him. What's your go-to thing that you do when your mojo goes? I play video games.
I edit videos or 3D print.
Yeah, either video games or watch a TV series or something. But yeah.
Yep, that's the golden trick, is go and do something that's nothing to do with what you got lost the mojo for. So if you lose your modelling mojo, go and do something else that's nothing to do with it. Get involved in that, and then after a day or 2, or maybe a week or more, you'll get the itch at the back of your mind thinking, you know, I could just go and paint something right now. So for me, it's always Xbox, because my workbench is here, my Xbox is there. I just turn around and I can get myself back in the bench, no time, no problem.
And it's surprising, though, isn't it? Because you might just catch something out the corner of your eye and you're like, oh, I could sit and do that whilst I'm here. And suddenly you're back in it.
H.G. Barnes says, if you lost your mojo, just watch an eModels show. I assume he means because then you can see that things could be much worse.
Yeah, because we've got nothing to do with modelling, so it's ideal to watch us lot.
And I'll tell you as well, if you have a video games device of some sort, you do play games, the one thing that works really well for me is if I lose my mojo, I go and play some Fallout 4, because the weathering in Fallout 4 on the title screens and all the stuff in the world that you play it, I look at things and think, oh, I like that rust effect on that rusted out old car. Ooh, how would I do that? Oh, and then I start thinking about weathering, and then I get back at the bench. So.
See, that's just gone.
Basically, get a Fallout 4, you'll get lots of weathering inspiration. There you
go.
Yeah. Twisted Rail says, I watch cooking shows, then I look at the kitchen, I'm like,
Yeah. Tim Young's binge watches cartoon series.
Yep. I send packages of spatches to Foxx as a hobby. I had a pack of spatulas turn up.
Yeah, and of course, if you do see any hats out there that you would love Chris to wear on the show, then feel free.
We have had a mail for today's giveaway from Natalie, not from Trucker, but from Nat. Good evening. I won the eModels giveaway, she says.
Oh,
good girl. Congratulations, Nat.
Yes. Congratulations on changing your name from Lewis.
Yeah. Lewis is now going, oh, Whippлекins.
He's going, oh, I'm out in the truck. Oh.
So we'll leave Lewis to sulk, and we'll wrap up for the night then, folks.
Yeah, because it'll turn up, the box will turn up with her name on it, and he won't even know.
Absolutely.
He'll be out on the road.
Absolutely.
She'll probably have built it and painted it by the time he gets back from work.
Yeah.
Lewis is going, oh, I want the kit.
Everybody's saying, well done, Nat, in the chat.
Yeah, well done, Nat. Congratulations, sweetheart. And by all means, show the finished photograph of your work on the eModels Facebook page.
Yeah. Very quickly, Edward Leonard says, Foxx, Microsoft has acquired Skyrim Fallout developer. Yes, Microsoft have just bought ZeniMax and Bethesda, which is great for me, because that's awesome. $7.5 billion they spent.
So
Wow.
It's a fair bit of money in it.
And AJ says, Fox, when is the Falcon heading back to eModels? When I'm no longer on lockdown and can actually be in the same room as other people.
Yeah, that's the thing, innit? I mean,
Yep.
you're the same as me. We're sort of enforceably quarantined, aren't we? So,
Yeah. So when it's safe for me, when there's a vaccine, I'll go to eModels and I will take that with me. Because until then, I
Yeah,
can't.
the group outing to eModels didn't happen this year, so...
no, I'm the same, mate. It's one of those. We end up in this little safety bubble. But
Yeah,
hey-ho.
bubble. I love the way you say things, Carl. Bubble.
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 We're in a bubble.
Yeah, I mean, I've just got to find somewhere to put this thing now for the next X months. I've got nowhere to put it.
Yeah, I'm all right at the moment. I've got an eModel shelf up there.
An eModel shelf, an eModel shelf.
It's all going on, so it's like
eModel shelf.
The only place I've actually got is a shelf right above my computer monitor there, which is brilliant, apart from it's right in the window, so this will just get all the sunlight and go ping.
Yeah, so if we see you with a Falcon-esque shadow across your face, we know you've put it in there for next
I'm
week.
assuming it doesn't fit in the box anymore.
No. Yeah, I can't put it up there because they say it'll get hot in the sun and then it'll just explode. So.
Yeah,
Always keep your models out of the sun, people.
But you're
yeah.
mostly all right, because you're up north, you don't get really the sun.
That's true, we've just got the wall.
Yeah.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, you don't have proper man's weather, do you, like we do?
Yeah, you just get this. You get continental la-di-da poncy sun nonsense.
Yeah, but we've got to have skin like leather to put up with it, haven't we? So that makes us tough.
Yeah, when we
Yeah.
get rain here, we just get rain. We get rain with sheep. So yeah, that's how hardcore we are up here, mate.
Yeah, but you get
Rain with
individual
sheep, did you
clouds
say?
up north, don't you? As
You
you
might
walk
get-
along, it's right above your canister.
Well, where you are, you might rain stair rods. We get the entire flight.
Yeah, we get light drizzle, mate.
Yeah, you get stand the stair lift rods. Rain.
Bless you.
I don't know.
All right,
Oh.
good night all then.
Yeah,
Hurry up.
rightio, folks. We're going to wrap up for the night. So, thanks for watching.
Yep. Take care.
And
Bye.
Chris has
Adios,
got the
amigos.
buttons. Is going to leave us hanging.
I'll press a button any minute now. I'll press a button about now. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye for now.
eModels.co.uk or one-stop shop for all model making needs.
What are you making these?
All your model making needs.